What's going on, the Winners Win podcast? Your boy Loso 2.0. You already know the copy got himself. Today we're going to talk about another tip to persuade people. That's actually pretty funny because a lot of this stuff kind of is definitely going hand in hand with sales that I've learned from this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But, you know, that's what it is. Sales is definitely the number one tool or skill that you need in life. Just like I said, copywriting, which copywriting goes into sales too as well. So before it gets started, if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to like and subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment below, share it with your friends, family. Everybody can use a little push when it comes to persuading others. And if you listen to this on any type of podcast platform, 5-star reviews all day. Trying to get my message out there, trying to get my word out there, and leave a comment or review below. I love to read your reviews and see how I can better myself, because at the end of the day, that's all it's about, right? How can you get better each and every single day? Guys, I like to do little reviews and stuff like that. Pretty much what's going on in this podcast, keep you guys updated, even though I don't need to keep you updated on my life and everything. It's great to definitely message with the kind of like message you guys or let you guys know about everything that's going on, because like I said, we're all human, we're all going through our things, and maybe you could relate with me on some sort of level. First thing I want to say is, man, Starbucks, I'm not a coffee drinker, but hot chocolate with the whipped cream, bon appetit, man. I think it's jumping. That thing was definitely jumping. Definitely got that for this morning. But yeah, as far as physically, I kind of expressed before in my last episode about how I was kind of doing at the gym, doing little cutbacks and stuff, like little snatchbacks and stuff. And I think honestly, for my athletes out there, especially my ball handler or basketball players, and they want to get better at ball handling, one key factor of ball handling is definitely just getting lower. Being disciplined enough to get lower when you dribble. People dribble up too high, they always end up losing the ball or getting it taken. And we were actually speaking about that fact as well. and another thing as well then, so that's just, a little quick tip for my, basketball players out there on a physical aspect of like how I was getting past my defender, how I was hitting them with little moves and stuff, being quick on my feet. Now, as far as, my business goes, I've read my kind of goals out to you guys and stuff like that. As far as everything goes, I really feel like, me and my friends were talking, this is our year. This is 100% our year. And we were making our goal. When we were making my goals, my friend was saying, no, I want to make $1 million in a year. Like, I'm going to make $1 million in a year. One of my friends. And I was like, no, that's awesome. Stuff like that. I definitely think he could get it. And I just told him, from my perspective, though, I don't like to put pretty much a money cap on certain things at certain times, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm focused on one thing, and I say if I focus on this thing, then I know money's gonna come. And a perfect example of that is Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip-hop preacher. He was talking about the idea that he wanted to win a Nobel Prize. Now, for speakers, that's a pretty big thing, and it's definitely something that I will do as well. But he was saying how, like, he wanted to win a Nobel Prize, and he pushed the idea, the fact that Nobel Prize is what he wanted. And then he was like, no, I didn't put millionaire, I didn't put none of that stuff, because it was like, how many Nobel Prize winners, and you guys can answer me this truthfully, how many Nobel Prize winners do you know that are broke? It's really not much, to be honest with you. I don't even know if there's any Nobel Prize winners that are dead broke. Most of them are, they're wealthy, right? They got the car they want, they got the house they want, they're with the woman that they desire and stuff, or the woman that they love. And they didn't have to say their goal was to win $1 million. Their goal is to win a Nobel Prize. Just like my goal is to be the number one speaker in the world, forever to do it. Ever. Like, I want them to be, this is the Michael Jordan of public speaking, the Michael Jordan of motivational speaking. I want them to say that about Loso 2.0, Carlos Henry. I want them to say that. And if I'm chasing that, the number one motivational speaker in the world is Eric Thomas right now. If Eric Thomas is the number one motivational speaker, you can look up his net worth. He's a millionaire. He's making money. He's doing different things. He's growing. So focus on a task or focus on a thing, and then the money will always follow, especially if that thing is so big as big goals equal big motivation. But anyway, I wanted to get back to that tool that pretty much we use when it comes to sales, and influencing anybody to take any sort of action goes down to getting people to believe that what they feel is their idea. And that's so funny. It's something that my boss told me before. It was something I learned with sales, with uncovering questions and stuff. It was, all right, so I remember my boss had to move people around because she had to put the better person in the busier location so that they can make more money and be more profitable. And she was saying, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put him here and him there. But she had to make it seem like it was that person's idea. Like, oh, you know, you got so many things going on, you know, this, you were kind of on the verge of termination, you know that, but this will be like a second chance for you, a fresh start. And then they were okay with it because she made it their idea. It kind of all goes back to what I was saying before. People love to buy, but they actually loathe to be sold to. And that's because they feel like they're being taken advantage of, or they feel like it's so many other things is the problem. But they just hate to be sold to, but they love to buy. So you have to make it seem there's their idea. That's when you do uncovering questions. That's when you try to remember the idea of, okay, yes. All that stuff kind of goes hand in hand with trying to make them seem as though it's their idea that they want to do certain things. I'm telling you, this is the easy and most simple way to persuade someone to take an action. I was just doing a role play the other day with one of the reps I was working with. I was like, if the person tells me they stream on their phone or they stream, I'm gonna pitch them a streaming service because they told me they stream. Now, if they told me they don't stream, they don't got cable or nothing like that, I'm not gonna realistically pitch them this because they told me they do not do it. They don't have any cable, don't have any stream. That's what they told me. So you gotta make it make sense for the customer at all times. You gotta make it make sense for the customer, the client, or the person that you're trying to persuade by getting into their mind. And the way to get into their mind is A, doing research is one. Two, just asking uncovering questions, which is also research anyway, right? Like asking them about their family, asking them about, you know, their work life. It's an acronym, and I know I'm giving you guys a lot. It's an acronym. It's called FORT. I talked about it probably before, right? Family, occupation, recreation, travel, entertainment. I know this is some secret sauce though, but it's true though. These are 5 set of questions you can ask any person that you're working with. I mean, that you're talking to, right? You can ask them about their family life. Everybody loves to talk about their family life. Okay, yep, family this, family that, yep. You can ask them about their occupation. Everybody loves to talk about their occupation. They like to talk about, you know, where do they work at? What are they, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of talk about their work life. Even when I'm talking on this thing sometimes, when I'm talking on my podcast, I talk to you guys about my work life. I was just talking about my work life, right? People love talking about their work life. People love talking about themselves regardless. But asking these uncovering questions, you can then go back to it. Recreation, you know what I mean? What they do for fun. How do you, like, what's your fun look like? Like, what do you do for fun? What do you do for hobbies, stuff when you're not at, you know, doing work or you're not doing this? Travel, you know, ask them about their traveling plans, vacations, things like that, right? And then entertainment, which kind of goes back to that, you know what I mean? That's just got more hobbies too as well, right? Asking these questions, and then when you uncover these needs, you repeat it back to them because, like I said, people have the mind of a goldfish. Now, if you say, okay, yeah, my device is running slow and this, that, okay, well, I'm gonna put you a new device because you told me your device was running slow. It was your idea that your device is running slow, so here it goes because your device is running slow. Exactly. All of it is just getting into the mind of the person and making it seem as though it's their idea, because at the end of the day, it is their idea. They just want to make sure it makes sense for them. People buy with emotion. My apologies, coming off the exit. Sorry, I got some hot chocolate in the back of my throat. But people buy off of logic. No, they buy off of emotion and back it up with logic. Why do you have an iPhone? You can tell me it's because of the specs. You can tell me it's because of the camera. But most of us just don't want to be a green bubble, to be honest with you, right? That's the emotion thing. It's cool. But then logically, we might back it up with, oh, they call this a photographer camera and they do that. Like, none of that stuff really matters. Honestly, to me, none of that stuff matters either way. But I got an iPhone because it's cool, and I'm not afraid to admit that. So you need to be able to admit things But you have to make it seem like this their idea. And when you ask those questions, you're connecting with them on an emotional level. And then it also is emotional and a logic level. It's like, oh, this person's talking to me. They're using my first name. They're doing this. Remember all this stuff that I told you before. And then after that, logically, it makes sense because it was this, that, and the third. So it kind of is my idea. So that's really all I had for this episode right here. I want you guys to just start doing that. When you're talking to people, start making it, figure out, all those questions that you ask, those answers, and then after that, make it seem as though it's their idea to do anything else, right? I want you guys to keep killing the day, and just remember, you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.